Hello, and welcome to Pandering Hour.
Deal with it. Never do this. Never, ever. Not a good idea. Don't do this. This is way better. Top 10 killer cucks. If you like putting stuff in your butt, that is your right. And don't worry about straight or gay. It's not about that. It's about your own satisfaction. For you. For us, it's you're gay. Today on Pandering Hour, I am talking about Mauritius. Once again, we've already talked about it. I already spoke with someone, but I had two candidates that I thought were so great. I just had to speak to them both. Here with Anais.
Hi, Anthony.
Hello. Great. So, I already know a little bit about the country, but I'd like to start more with like how you grew up. So, did you grow up on the island?
Yeah, I was born there, grew up there, and moved only like 4 years ago. But otherwise, I spent my whole life there.
Okay. And tell me about it. Like, what was it like growing up on Mauritius?
Well, it was great because it's an island. Like you can go to the beach during the weekend.
What was your favorite beach?
Oh, in the north of the island. I loved in the north. Actually, that's a place I really like. It's called Peribert. There's two actually. It's called Peribert and Montchoisy Beach. Just to relax. Also, people like to do, camping, especially on the 1st and 2nd of January. Like you'll see the beach really loaded. Like it will be completely full with people. They go there to do camping, barbecue also. And fishing, it's you will have people going fishing there because some it's just their job also, but also it's a great activity. So yeah, people actually when they go to the beach, camping, picnic, also just go to relax, just to enjoy the sun as well. Since it's an island, we are like maybe 6-8 months, like we have really great weather, apart from winter, let's say. But we have like 35 degrees, and when it's hot, people just tend to go to the beach.
Yeah, I would die. This is way too. This is too much. This is so much sun. I mean, when I'm looking at the beach, I'm like, that's not enough shade for me. As you can see, I'm very pasty white. I would melt. I'd be like melting ice cream on the beach.
Yeah, I'm so used to it now.
I'm originally from California, and California has a lot of beaches. You know, there's like this whole impression of like, you know, if I Google a Californian, it's like some guy like this with like a good tan and all that. But that's not me. I am very pasty.
You're an exception to it.
Definitely. And my dad is just cooked. He looks terrible. It's been so hot in California lately, and my dad doesn't wear sunblock. And every time I looked at him, he looks like pork fresh off a skillet. Like he looks terrible. And I keep talking to my mom. I'm like, is he wearing any sunscreen? She's like, he won't wear it. He just won't. And that would be me if I grew up here.
But to be honest, I don't use sunblock as well. Huh? I think my skin is just used to the country, to the sun. So that's how I am.
Yeah, you have the skin for it. You are like caramel. You're perfect skin for the sun. You can survive.
Yeah.
Let me see. So you grew up going to the beach a lot. How did your parents discipline you?
Actually, we are two at home. Like there's my sister and I, so two girls. My dad was a bit strict with us, let's say. Well, not a bit, was strict with us. We went to Catholic school, and also I think he did a great job with both of us. Like we would always listen to him, a bit scared also, but
right, same.
Yeah, he did a great job. Yeah, can't be more proud than with the work they did actually with my mom also. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm a good kid. I never really got in trouble, but I'm the youngest
same.
of 8.
Oh, okay.
So I saw a lot of stuff. I saw a lot of stuff, and that's probably why I didn't get in any trouble. I knew how to like I'm not doing that. Like I would just sidestep a lot of things. You learn a lot of tricks on like how not to get caught. I mean, so like one of my siblings, for instance, one of my siblings, my dad went to go pick up one of my siblings, and they had just taken ecstasy. And they were in high school. Are you aware of what ecstasy is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had just taken ecstasy, and uh, basically my dad goes like, "All right, hey, how's it going?" And he looks in the back seat of the car, and my sibling is just like, "Oh," in the back, and so they couldn't hide it at all, and it was yeah, like I hear stories about that, and I'm like a kid. I'm a kid, so how was I? I don't even understand what ecstasy fully was, and I didn't really. I knew she was in big trouble. Not she, he. Could have been any of them. Could have been anybody. Could have been anybody. Um, yeah, I would see them get in trouble, and I would know, like, okay, don't do that. Like something. All my siblings smoke cigarettes. I've never smoked a cigarette. Uh, is smoking big on the island? Like, do people?
They do smoke, yeah. But to be honest, also, I've never touched a single cigarette, so I'm proud of that.
Oh, we're both dorks. We're both nerds.
Consider myself dog now. No, it's just like people. They do smell. They do cigarettes a lot, but there's a law actually which came out like they don't smoke cigarette in public spaces, only like if you want at home or like it's good for us those who don't smoke, so that they just have the smoke on us, so it's a good thing.
What kind of cigarettes do you have? Because I know that
mean
cigarettes are
brand?
like in other countries, cigarettes are very different. Like, is that the brand?
Oh, that's the yeah.
Do these
That's
look
an old
familiar?
brand though, the yellow box.
Uh-huh.
It's a very old one, but yeah, like uh, the second picture, I think you have most of on it.
This one?
This one, I think, yeah. To be honest, I I don't even know the brands, the full brand.
Oh, what is that in like dollars? 40.
I think one USD is actually 48 rupees. If I
It's a dollar?
one USD, yeah, $1 something, yeah.
Oh, my brother's gonna
No,
go
but
crazy.
no, it's not the whole packet. I think it's just one. Like they sell it unit. I think I'm not sure.
They'll sell
Or
you a
maybe
cigarette?
they.
You know, people have
Sorry?
died in this country over selling one cigarette.
Oh,
It's
like
police
some
brutality. It's not right. Like it's not. I'm not saying it's right, but yeah. That's so interesting that they'll sell you one cigarette. Yeah, there's a very famous case of a guy who was I think his name was I think it was Eric Gardner. Um, it's a very common thing in like bad neighborhoods. There will be a guy. Will be people who can't afford a full pack of cigarettes because it's like $30 here in America. And so a guy was selling out single cigarettes, and the police told him not to. And he said why, and then they like choked him to death. Like not, I don't know how intentional it was. The police
Yeah.
in this country, and I have friends and family that are police officers. Um, I also have friends and family that are criminals. So I kind of like it's like um, I feel like the police have a very stressful job. I think that they are expected to be perfect, and they're not. They're expected to be almost robotic and inhuman while going through constant stress, while going through things that are constantly affecting them deeply. Constant hate, constant like the worst things that you can see in a person. And they're expected to not make judgments personally, even though they are personally going through it. and they're supposed to compartmentalize a job that takes up tons of their time. I mean, most of the cops that I know are working like 60-hour weeks, and that's a majority of your week. And then you're expected to go home and not be that person still, and go back to being the person you were when you only get to be that person 2 hours a day. It's an impossible ask of anybody. But yet still, you probably shouldn't kill a guy over a cigarette.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are in this country, where we're like, well, you're killing people over cigarettes, and the police are like, well, you people are crazy. There's this thing called police auditors. So there are these people who say that they don't abide by local law, they abide by like common law or the Constitution, something like that, and basically saying that the police they're not subject to the police because they're a sovereign citizen. They are their own, almost like they're their own nation, and that they do not the rules of local state law enforcement do not apply to them, and so they do things like they don't register their vehicle. They do things like they don't adhere to tickets because they're like, I just live in America. I'm not a part of America, essentially. And that doesn't work. You can't do that. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm not a part of this whole government thing. Like, you're getting the ticket. You're getting arrested.
$500 fine for going a couple miles over the speed limit. God only knows what kind of fine the judge is going to impose. If they miss the fine and they don't pay the fine, they'll get a warrant. The next time they get picked up, they'll get put in handcuffs and they'll get taken to jail. It just boggles my mind. Let's take a look and get yourselves ready. My face. Am I in your face, really? Yeah, now you're touching me. Look at you touching me. I'm not touching you. Yeah, you are. You just bumped me. My hands are over here. What's your...
Doesn't this already feel awful? Hold on. So just like the interaction between the police officer, who is supposed to protect people, but the citizen is antagonizing them.
These halls of injustice. And I'm sorry that you're going to be in there with a bunch of people that, Hi, what's your issue?
So this guy is like basically preaching to people in line who are there to pay tickets and pay fines, to explain to them that they don't have to, trying to get them on board with this. They're called auditors. They're auditing the police, essentially trying to get them not to adhere to the law. And now a police officer is like coming out and giving them a hard time.
Excuse me? What's your issue? My issue is you in my face. Am I in your face, really? Yeah, now you're touching me. Look at these.
See, I don't. You're touching me. You can't touch me. Why are you touching me? Like, how are you supposed to do your job when like you see people get shot, and you see there's that side of the job, and then there's people who are like, I don't have to listen to you. Like, this is like a little kid. This is like little kid behavior, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty terrible. We can go on to something else. That's kind of what the police are like here in America. What are the police like in Mauritius?
How are they?
Do you know any police officers?
I'm not related to any, and I've never had trouble like with them. So the only time I've been really like with the police officer was when I got my driving license, and otherwise like they would just do any routine while you're driving, like on any stop they'll check everything. But otherwise, no, I never really get into any trouble with them. But we do have a lot of policemen in Mauritius. But I guess in when they are doing their job, if someone doesn't want to cooperate, so they'll get a little bit rough, let's say, on the situation. But otherwise, no, they're quite nice. We've got few riots, let's say, if people want to go down the streets to make something, like they want people to hear about something. But for now, we've never really had an issue, let's say. They'll be here like to help or to make sure everything is okay. But also, I think when they are doing any specific job, if their life is at risk, they'll be very careful about that, and also just be on the safe side. Maybe not to really how can I say that? Like not really interfere. Let's say in if sometimes you do have any guy like drug dealing, things like that. They'll just be very careful about where they are going, what they are doing also. But unfortunately, we do have some drugs issues. And
yes, I'd seen some stuff about that. I think heroin is in Mauritius, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrible. Yeah, I'm in Portland, Oregon currently. It's a very rainy but dry place. It normally just looks like this. I think Portland is beautiful. I think Portland, it's a lot of trees, it's very green, and I still think a lot of these pictures aren't doing it justice. And the weather is very nice. For me, if it's a little rainy all the time, it doesn't bother me. You know, that's these are bridges I run on pretty consistently. I can almost see my area, actually. I live in like that part of the city, and so I'll run down over a bridge to something called the Moda Center, and then I'll run back on a different bridge. Right? Not these two.
Or if you have to go in town or to run errands.
Just for exercise.
Okay.
I like to run. I like to run on the street. That being said, I did step on human feces recently, and that was very upsetting. I was really, that's because of the homeless, and I was like, no! I've seen them in that area, too, where I stepped on it. I rounded a corner, and it just went, and I slid, and I was like, huh, what was that? And I looked behind, and I'm like, that had to be human because of the way it was oriented in such a way where I'm like, a dog wouldn't poop like that. It would have had to been a huge dog. Oh no! And so I just kept running, and I could smell it on my foot for like a couple steps, and I was like, I gotta run faster. And so
This helped you actually.
Yeah, definitely. But as soon as I got home, I threw my shoes away. Because I'm like, do I keep the shoes? Do I try and rinse them off? And I'm like, I'm not bringing another person's poop into my apartment. I'm not bringing that into my home. That's insane. I just threw them away. And now I was perfectly... They were good running shoes, but they were close to the end of their life anyway. That poop killed my running shoes. Is there homeless on Mauritius?
We do have homeless. It's normally you mostly see them during the day, like when they are just in the street asking for food or money. But there are some charity, like they put some places like they can come and eat something at night and even sleep. If some like those can just stay for the night, and then if they want to go the following day. So they're trying to see how they can really help about this. But how like Mauritian people are quite they are very generous. So whenever they will be able to help those in needs, they'll do it. Even for me, like I remember once I was with my friends, we were just getting some McDonald's, and at some point someone came to us asking if we can give them money. They want to buy food.
Wait, hold on. Did you just time out? Did you say you were getting McDonald's?
Yeah, I did.
They have McDonald's here? Okay, you can continue with your story, but McDonald's.
Oh, you have McDonald's, Burger King, which came like 3 years ago.
You have so much McDonald's.
KFC is worse. You have more KFCs. So we went back in. We bought food for the guy and his wife as well. And he was so happy. He was saying, yeah, thank you very much. God bless you, things like that. It was just normal, Like if you can just offer food to someone who is in need, I'll do it with great pleasure.
Driving through Texas, I saw this dog, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm driving through Texas, and there's this dog, and I could tell it hasn't eaten in a long time. And and I drove right past it. I was probably going like 60, 70 miles per hour, and I go past this dog, and I feel the exact same way. It's a homeless dog, and I knew that that dog was doomed. Like, if someone doesn't stop and pick up that dog, it's going to pass away. It's going to starve to death. And I think that's what pushes the homeless from, the country to the city. And then our governments just keep kind of passing these large groups of people around who need help, who need to be received by someone. Someone needs to care about them. Someone needs to give these people a place to stay and a place to live. What is like the bad area of Mauritius? Like, if you were like, oh, I don't want to live on that part of the island.
You have a kind of cities. They call me, but they are not actually the same kind of cities we're talking about. Like you would say San Francisco, New York, things like that. They are a really special area in the northwest. Northwest.
Northwest, never eat seaweed. So this area, like Port Louis.
Yeah, like in Port Louis, you have to zoom in a little bit. There are some few kind of sketchy, let's say, that even if I go there also, I'll feel a bit outsider, let's say, and I'll feel a little bit scared about it.
Let me look at a couple pictures. I mean, it still looks pretty, but I guess that's because it's on an island. The water looks so clean.
This is
there.
actually a waterfront where you actually, it's the Codon waterfront.
So I'm too close to the water. What, like
Yeah.
this area? Oh yeah, that looks rough. That does not look fun.
Like you see, like you find some house, like
Oh, it's just two pictures.
not dance, like,
Yes, kind of like
no, but it
big.
depends on the. I think this one is in Portrait though. But you do have some areas like just before.
Oh yeah.
No, this is the mountain. Like you can go to do just some exercise there. But you see the different like the houses,
Yeah.
and there are places like where you can find people like doing drugs, also even homeless, or even like you can have drugs. Those are the areas like a bit sketchy one that you won't really, let's say, go, especially at night. If you're a girl, also.
Mm-hmm.
You see all the houses really stick to each other, like really close next to each other.
Right. And I think it's pretty expensive to get a house. I mean, it's relatively expensive. I mean, it's still like a couple $100,000 to get a nice house in Mauritius.
If you want to buy a house, yeah, definitely. But what happens most for Mauritian people, like they get land either from their family, like ancestors, like just a residential land, and they will just build on that. It costs a little bit less rather than to buy one, for sure. And yeah, those are the pretty big houses like the villas, which cost a lot.
Oh, you guys have bowling? That's a shame. Where did because bowling's a terrible sport, but like is bowling American? Where is bowling from?
I think it's from America.
King Edward outlawed bowling. What? And that was in 1366. Frankfurt. Okay, so it's definitely more of an American thing that got picked up. Yeah, if I was king, I would outlaw bowling. I don't think bowling is I think it's a huge waste of time.
When you go out with some friends, but otherwise, yeah, it's not nothing exciting about it.
It's the worst. I think it's not like a fun activity. I think it's kind of fun. It's a little fun, but I think it's just an excuse for young people to hurl a big rock. Like
I think it's fun when you have kids, like if you have to go, like you have to go out and you don't especially know what to do with like what kind of activity. So you go to the bowling with kids, they like it. But otherwise, yeah, it's up here.
I'm noticing this is going to be kind of a silly question, but is your Jesus brown?
Like the one. No, I think this.
No, I know this guy is, but no, I mean like when you like on the so like there's a lot of in Korea there's a lot of Christianity as well, and their Jesus is Korean. Like in America, we'll have like black. We have Black Santa as well. Like you can buy a Black Santa to put up in your house. So like, how do you feel about Mauritius? Like, I know you moved away for work, but what
Yeah.
do you think about it? Like, do you want to move back? Are you excited to go back?
For sure, we are going back after our contract here because, well, for us, it's home.
Oh,
And the thing is that, yeah, well, for me, it's home. And actually, my husband is not from Mauritius, but he moved like 4 or 5 years ago onto the island. He fell in love with it because he's really like a guy who likes summer a lot, like the activity there. He likes to do kite surf, etc. So he really fell in love in Mauritius and don't want to go back. And the thing is that we've moved for work, but we both want to go back to Mauritius for sure. Like we want to settle down there, have a family there, work there also afterwards. Now it's just kind of an experience. We're outside Mauritius, but well, my family is there. Our friends are there as well. So for us, it just makes sense to go back there because also we feel very well there. Like it's home for us.
mhm.
So yeah, it'll be there like where we want to settle down again afterwards.
Do you think you'll be able to buy a house at some point in your life?
Maybe not a house, but we're thinking about having a land, and because for us, when we compare like buying a already built house, and if we buy a land and then we construct it, like we build a house, it'll be more it will be cheaper for us. This is one option, like what we've opted for now. Like we want to look like for a nice piece of land. It doesn't have to be big enough. Like maybe 400 meter, 500 would be okay, meter square, and we build our house there. Yeah.
Meter square
Ah, yeah. Sorry.
to square foot.
Yeah.
5,000 square feet. Is that right?
Yeah. I think.
That's
Like for us-
huge.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, but that's just the land. That's not like the house.
Yeah, exactly. Because on the land you have to respect the distance from the main road, from the neighbor, things like that. So yeah, there will be the land.
Okay. So what was dating like growing up here? Because it's a small island. I imagine you kind of know everybody, and everybody knows everybody.
Kind of, but dating. Well, now it's getting a bit more common. Let's say, like to go on any dating app.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is that also Mauritius, since it has a mixed culture, for each like for each of them, it will be a bit different of how dating will be. Like for me, I'm Catholic, so it will just like just go out with a guy with a boy, like let's go have dinner. It would be something quite normal. But I know for the Indian culture, like you have to respect some kind of rules, and also the age you have. And for them, I know it's kind of a traditional, like the parents. Well, it was like this before. I think more and more it's coming modern, and the woman just go find her husband. But I know long ago, like the parents would decide, okay, you're going to marry
Right.
this guy.
Arranged marriages.
Yeah, but it tends now to be a bit more modern. So, and also there's a growing acceptance of dating among all families. So it's becoming normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Where would people go on dates? Like, would you go bowling? Like, would you go to the mall? Like, where would you go?
Go eat McDonald's. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I think more dates would go like restaurant, go to pub, like have some drinks here and there.
Where did
Cinema also.
Where did someone take you on a date? If you ever, when you went on a date in Mauritius, where did they take you?
restaurant for dinner, like have a drink, also to concerts,
Is there stand-up in Mauritius?
stand up.
Like a comedy?
Oh yeah, we do have some
Is there...
like Russian people. There's one who is really known and he's really funny. This one, Vincent Duverger.
Vincent, okay.
Yeah, Vincent. And no, we do have some, and also like we are very also on the French because we've been colonized by French at some point also. So we are a lot on the Europeanization, let's say. We'll have a lot of comedians coming to Mauritius to have their show, and people really likes to go there.
It's been great having you on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been so much fun talking to you. I learned a lot. You gave me a great perspective, and thank you all so much.